Yes, analysis of the text Katja's story, traffic to the UK sent home to Tokyo. The text is about a 26-year-old girl who is called Katja. She's from Moldova. Katja was kidnapped by traffickers when she was 14 years old, repeatedly sold to pimps and other traffickers, and forced to work as prostitute for 7 years in Italy, Turkey, Hungary, Romania, Israel, and Britain. She lived with her mother in Moldova when two older men invited her and a friend to a birthday picnic in a nearby forest. Both girls was beaten unknowingly, driven to Romania, tied in a river in an inflatable dinghy to a place in Hungary, dressed in dark clothes and made to walk through the forest over the border at night, passing Slovenia and finally arriving into Italy. They were sold to two separate men. Katja first worked in an apartment in Rimini and then on the streets of Milan. After a few months, she managed to escape and spent some time in the Moldovan embassy there where she discovered she was pregnant. Katie's traffickers have not been arrested, and she is concerned that they could now target their younger sister in Moldova. She plans to stay in the UK, has enrolled in computer courses and English language classes, and does volunteer work. Recently, she succeeded in bringing her daughter to live with her, but is concerned about the possibility that she could run into the people who forced her into prostitution in London.
What type is this article? It is an article and it's written by Katja, but it's not her real name, it's just a cover name. The article Katja's story, Traffic to UK sent home to torture, is published in the newspaper The Guardian in 2011, and it's a non-fiction article. The article's main theme is human trafficking, which is a subtopic of modern slavery. Next, the article discusses how Katja has been used as a slave through her youth and how she wants the British police to start taking more responsibility for human trafficking and slavery.
Katja, the narrator in the article, is also the focus point of the article. She grew up with her mother in Moldova, where she, as a 14 years old, was invited to a birthday where the traffickers applied them blindfolded. Here she lived under poor conditions, where she received no salary for the work she did. When she finally managed to escape the traffickers, she was discovered and then tortured. She became pregnant during the fugitives from the traffickers, which made her even more nervous. She sent her child to safety. However, her problem was that she was afraid that the traffickers would make her sister jump in the same trap that Katie herself did.
Yes, and the text is published in The Guardian, and the newspaper The Guardian is aimed at an educated target group with middle-class income. And the newspaper's target group also has a left-wing political perspective, and the members are plus 18.
And what is characteristic of the text? The language of this article is characterized by a very common language. However, some concepts of slavery are used, which describe the way in which one can be used as a slave, such as human trafficking. There are used appeals in this article. Here, among other things, pages are being used as she tells about how her young with prostitution has been, how horrible her life has been, where she, among other things, tells in detail how she was abused, such as that she said that she was raped, torn off a rope from a tree, and forced to dig her own grave. One of her teeth was pulled out with a pair of pliers. In addition, logos are also used as some data are presented. For example, there are no clear data to indicate how many active women may be in England and Wales, but this year clear evidence of 2016 victims of human trafficking and another 19,600 vulnerable migrants were found that may have been traded. In relation to argumentation, Katja has a very clear claim that the police must work to stop the slavery problem. In addition, she said she had some evidence to support her claim that this problem must be solved. The clad is, among other things, that the number of modern slaves is increasing, and it not only destroys the individual but also the future children, because they will be born into slavery and therefore have no opportunities to come out of it again.
The text appears to be very reliable as the writes from her own experience, and because she writes the text from her own experience, she emerged as a very credible source. The text is very relevant to the fact that many believe slavery is extinct, so there has not been a great focus on modern slavery.
Yes, and the two texts are very similar to each other, as they are both about human slavery. Even for the two girls in the articles, they are both kidnapped and used as prostitutes. After they were kidnapped, they were both sent to UK, and both articles describe the fear among the two girls and the fear of the men who have kidnapped them.